Robin always wanted to join the military, but his mother pursued him to enroll in medical school. After two failed semesters, he was expelled. To help him get over his depression, his mother allowed him to enter the police academy. His co-workers always made fun out of him because at his 35 years old, he still lives with his mother and is single. He likes to eat fast food and lift weights in the gym. Despite being corpulent, he has a delicate voice of his mother and a beautiful bone structure in his face. He likes watching superhero films, and his favorite character is Batman. On Sundays, he accompanies his grandmother to church. He never knew his father, and he does not want to have children because he believes that this world is not safe for them. Robin wants to advance in his job and someday be the commissioner. Despite his dedication, he does not obtain the votes of his colleagues necessary to advance. Robin is very close to resigning his position as a patrolman, but the murder of his mother will lead him to find the love of his life and recognition of his co-workers. Isabel is 19 years old, is a second-year biology student at Miami University, speaks three languages, and had an anxiety disorder that causes her problem and rest skin. Her favorite band is Radiohead, and she idolizes Selena. Isabel's best friend studies French literature and is 22 years old, although she has just started university. Isabel does not like to exercise, but she runs every morning. When she has enough money, she wants to have cosmetic surgeries, starting with her breasts. She lives with her mother and her stepfather in a dangerous neighborhood, and her older sister is an actress in New York. Isabel's dreams is to be in a star's station in LA, and that is why she thinks she must marry a millionaire and move to the School of Cosmetology of USF. Above all, she wants to leave her mother's house and flee from her stepfather, with whom she has disturbing nightmares. But when she has the opportunity to enter Stanford's science faculty, her vision of the world changes forever. José is 7 years old. He likes to play soccer, marbles, and hide and seek. His mother sells tortillas on the Salvadoran-Nicaraguan border, and his father works as a bricklayer. His older brother told him that there was a magic dollar that multiplied every day, and since that day, José only asks for gringos for money in search of a magic $2 bill. His right leg is thinner because a Russian broke it during a fight with his mother, who refused to provide him sexual services. José does not go to school because he was expelled last year for marijuana cigarette, in addition to his repeated bad behavior and lack of focus. José prays every day to the Virgin Mary and the baby Jesus to one day become a truck driver. A gringo told him that he had a $2 bill and kidnapped him. His astuteness will lead him to triumph in the world of drug trafficking. Gerardo is 50 years old. He lives in the streets of Xélahuh, Guatemala. Since childhood, he has visions and experiences in his dreams that allow him to travel through time. His family thought he was harmless until he predicted the death of his mother. After that, he was kicked out of his home and began to drink alcohol in excess to avoid sensory experiences. Although he always moves slow, alcohol has caused a lack of coordination throughout all his body and prevents him from communicating verbally. His language has been reduced to babbling, and he has become incontinent. Gerardo has a stray dog that takes care of him when he's unconscious, although he does not get along with all the dogs in the park because he fights with them for the leftovers on the trash cans. Once, one of the dogs bit his face. The pain made him unable to drink alcohol for 2 days. In those, he had a vision about a son he didn't know he had. Gerardo has HIV and wants to meet his son before it's too late. Itzel is 23 years old. She lives in Guatemala City with her grandmother and her younger brother. Her mother died during the birth of her brother when she was just 10 years old. Since then, she is the head of the family. She has a great capacity to make decisions, especially in difficult times. She is interested, intelligent, orderly, and studious. She wants to be a farmer because every plant she touches reproduces. Her grandmother tells her that she has the gift of life. The old grandmother has arthritis and her mobility is reduced because of that. Itzel takes care of the house and her brother. Every day, she sells flowers in front of Doña Griselda's candy store, an old friend of her mother's. Itzel likes to listen to stories of when Griselda and her mother were young and escaped to the river. She gets up at 3 a.m. in the morning to carry water from the river to the roses that grow in her garden. At 8 o'clock in the morning, she is already in front of the store where she works 8 hours all week because she believes that people love more on Sundays. She has saved $236.41 to enroll at university next year, but an inexplicable plague that causes big losses on her business forced her to look for new ways to achieve her goal. Alexander is 10 years old. He moved to the capital of Nicaragua 2 years ago. He used to be a good student in his town school, but his new school is much more challenging. He lives with his foster sisters, two middle-class teenagers that Juana, the mother of José, has taken care of since they were babies. José admires his older sister, an open swim and Olympic athlete. Now, he believes that his passion is not school but sports. His biggest dream is to impress his sister and someday to beat her in a competition, because he loves to compete. The coach believes that he has potential and forces him to practice for hours, but every day he loses weight and his mother advises him to leave the sport. José does not have many friends and he feels that swimming is his reason for living. He secretly practices in the pool until a cramp almost ends his life and causes him to become hydrophobic. He feels embarrassed and he runs away from home. Along the way, he meets many challenges that teach him to trust himself and give him a sense of self-worth.